Hey, Wagwan. This is Dutch. I am the ADHD artist, and I'm just trying to get comfortable here. Still in my pajamas. It's a lazy Sunday, and it is day one of October 1st. Usually this would be Inktober for most people, but with all the controversy of that, I decided to do the Artgerm Arttober mixed in with a bit of what I'm calling and hashtagging Dutchtober. It doesn't have any list of things. It's drawings I've done. One of the things that always made Inktober frustrating was I wanted to do my own artwork and ink it at the same time, but if you were drawing or working for something else, doing usually flat and color for other people as well as working on my own comic, and you end up spending a good 8 hours creatively doing that, you're not creatively going to have the energy to continue on drawing something and then getting it just right and then want to ink it and then yada yada yada. Quoting my Seinfeld there. You want to just do something else. So that's why I usually fail. So what I've done instead the last few weeks has been just drawing. When I have my daughter, I sit and draw when she's around, and I've just been doing some 7x10 sketches. So I have various things of my character Anya, seen here in the sticker, as well as other characters I just want to tackle. Things that I found difficult. Usually you want to draw, if you're drawing Iron Man, I have an Iron Man one, for example, and I don't quite like the new Iron Man outfit. In my honest opinion, it is too technical. I think the Mark IV armor, the one that fit in a suitcase in the comics, is far superior because it's basically a shirt and then it becomes this technological device, so you can carry it with them anywhere. I mean, the next thing is that nano one, but one second here, just checking something. Okay, got volume. And just trying to see if I'm on all the social medias happening here. That's not me. That's like me. Huh, okay. I was trying to see if I'm on Facebook, going live here, so I can answer any questions or whatever, but I'm not seeing that. So I don't have my chat screen up on. Basically, this is going to be me inking over there on my desk. But it's just, like I said, it's just a compilation of things, characters I want to draw, trying to figure things out with those characters that make it tough. Trying to up my game a little bit. Again, I draw realistic-looking people, realistic women that have love handles. I don't do the stick-thin, thigh-gapped women, unless it's called for. That's the whole thing. If it's called for that, then that's what I'll do. But if it's not, I draw realistic women. So a lot of those were pushing that because they know sex sells, unfortunately, and I need to up that as well. So off the Artgerm is Suletta Mercury. If you haven't seen the Mobile Suit Gundam newest series, The Witch of Mercury, fantastic. Highly recommend it. It is funny, interesting take on the mobile suit era. Same type of political things happening behind the scenes, and it's pretty cool. So we'll see. I'm going to do that one, and this is again for me to practice inking. I'm not the greatest inker. I'm a good digital inker. I'm getting there because it can undo or redraw over it again and add other layers and stuff like that and add effects. But traditional, I'm not that great. So I'm taking a stab. So we're going to do that, and I'm going to color it, but I'm not going to do it today. That's not what the whole point of this is. It's for me to draw or ink over my work and go from there. So let's hop over the desk and we'll get everything started. Okay, so I am trying to get the cam started here. All right, And you'll probably see me scooch over. That's a complex Midwest term. And everything you see here is for sale on my desk. Oh, except for my legs. Let's see if we can get that better angled. I was moving around my mic as I was noticing I was dropping off, and all right, maybe I'll keep it right there. All right, so let's do some prepping here. So this is what we'll be doing, but I'm going to first prep my desk, because I didn't do it beforehand. Alrighty. I am working a little higher than I normally do. All right, so we can see that. I have my iPad in my lap, and I'm sorry for the shakiness. Okay. So I should have also had another piece of paper here. Just looking for some scrap. This was really supposed to go for another piece, but I used the back side. And using the platinum fountain. Try that first. So my main goal is making mistakes like that one. But going through with a thin line, there's a mistake there. I know that this ink smudges, so I'm gonna have to let it sit a moment. I'm also going to use some tools that I don't normally use, which are templates. I probably messed that up. Probably a better pen might be needed for this. Shed a little bit more light on the subject here. And because of what I did, I'm going to have to change this part of the drawing. I'm also going to change this. So one of the things I've reached out to a lot of my friends as getting this Posca Unimarker. Use that to clean up anything later on, wet out, basically. I think I just messed up right there. There should be some arms. That's not the fault of It's my line art, so it's not folding my inking. So I'm happy about that. So if I was to digitally ink this, I would have put an opaque white above it to knock that out, and then merge the two together. I'm actually using my glove that I draw with digitally. I should have found my one I use for my pencils. So I think the one thing I'm doing is this, I'm not worrying about line weight yet. I'm just going through and giving them all the same line weight. So comment if you've seen this anime on Crunchyroll. When I was at San Diego, I'm going to do something here I didn't think about, which is the good old rotating of the paper. They had a booth set up for this, for Gundam. It was fantastic. They didn't have the figurine I wanted. I think they all sold out day one. I'll have to go back online and get it, but it was of Miorine and Suletta. Where'd that template go? Ooh, already messed up something. Oh, yeah. Big black spot right there in the white of her outfit. Not good. That came from the template. That makes me mad. But again, this is, I expected to happen. I didn't expect it to happen by that. So, try this. I have to build up the white, or maybe I'll paint it in. Some titanium white. First time using this. I probably should have let it wait. So it wasn't originally, but now I think I'm probably just going to use some opaque white and paint in this in white. Since I screwed that up. Unless somebody has some other ideas what to do. watching Adam Hughes just knocking out sketch heads and stuff at Rose City Comic Con. They're going live, and it's kind of, I know it's done over, maybe 100,000 sketches in his career from cons. They just effortlessly just like, did a line like that, like, done. And it comes with practice and everything. But I want to save her face for last, because if I screw that up, I don't know how to rectify it. So what I did here is, the reason why it looks so clean is I sketched everything out digitally first, and then projected it onto this sheet. Right now I don't know how to get my workforce printer to print various sizes, oversized, and etc. I need to RTMF it. And figure that out, because usually I like to print off in non-photo blue and then ink over that. Kind of do non-photo blue pencils. Doing something the late Jesse Ham once said is just look where you're wanting the lines to go and have your hand follow it. But I'd like to projecting this because I want to make it clean and not, suggest where I want the colors to go and light, etc. Hey, Shelby. Yeah, I'm not certain. It's more what I have an issue with is I think just haven't set up the feeder, because when I do it with like say if I'm oversized printing a legal size versus letter size on a normal printer, and you put it in there, it kind of senses it and it goes. But I'm not doing that for this. Of course, I'm also trying to learn how to run before I walk, kind of thing. Yeah, I've got to go back. I was just thinking about it today. I've got to re-edit my Bad Elf video. I'm going to link it back to yours of inking it. And I know these are off, so I can redo that. I also have to add a new thumbnail to it. So I'll probably go back later and do a thumbnail for this one with Suletta. But also to know if I added any Copics to this with this pen, it's going to smear it. I've done that from experience. I do have some microns and stuff. Yeah, I like this character for Artgerm. for Suletta. I'm not doing them all because all off his list. A lot of them, like Poison Ivy, he had on there. A lot of the comic book ones I already did sketches for prior to his making his list. It was just a happy accident that, like, the Poison Ivy was on there. All right, where's my... I have to be careful with this because I know it's going to smear. Rub it off there. Yeah. The tops, and then get my longer T-square for that. Sides. Yeah, that's why I added Dutchtober, so it's a very similar. Maybe I should put what I'll be doing. I have no idea. This is the first one off of his list, so I thought it'd be a good one to start with. But I do have, I saw another artist on Artist Friend on Facebook talking about people come out with sketchbooks after this, but she wanted to see characters, your own OCs. So I've got a lot of Amiya from the Wayfarer. I still have to get my second issue Kickstarter going. It's pathetic of me, I know. It's my ADHD kicking in there, and that's what's tough. Because I want to have a new video for it, but I want to have I have SK would be doing the video, but I want to have like a video on top of that. So a video of me he would add on as I talk about the first issue and kind of upsell it. All right, I see some things I'm going to have to redo here before I ink it. So I'm not going to touch them yet. So far, I'm not hating what I've done here, except for this goof. I really need to find a good whiteout. Like I said, if I was to do this digitally, I could easily correct everything, undo, add different line weight, pen pressure, etc. And then the saving grace of Control Alt Delete, Control Z to undo. I'm not going to tackle the eyelashes in this with this pen, because I know it will smear. Pardon my head. Probably should have bought one of those blotters to put on here. absorb the ink. So I'm definitely let it sit before I come back over and then add my next line weight. Okay. So that's it. I'm going to erase this. And sorry for shaking this. This is a very loose tripod. And you've been doing this since, you know, back in the day when I was hanging out in the bars, hanging out, you were growing your Miles Morales mustache. Hell, I'm still growing mine right now. Inking with Sharpies. If I remember your stories correctly. I made those a little bit bigger on that side. Yeah, some of my favorite inkers are Carl Story. Mustafa's moving up there after seeing his latest stuff done with Lobos. Jeremy Clark's got a very clean style. Your stuff is super dynamic. If I was doing a Batman, I would want to emulate what you're doing there. Especially like the cool parts when you're showing like how you're adding the veins and stuff. And that's why I wanted to ink my own stuff, because even when I do my own comic, it's tough because there's things in there that like I want to make a change to that. I don't know if it's a Wi-Fi symbol or whatever, but it's kind of hard for me to do finished pencils. The Faber, yeah, I'm using microns right now, but I've been going through and just figuring out which one works best, which one I like. I think this micron I'm using here, or the Pigma graphic, I think this is the one with the tip. It's one I might use for the outline. It's pretty sweet. Oh, let me get my test paper. I don't want to screw this up. I really want to learn how to use a brush. But again, I can start with a brush pen, I guess. Yeah, I've got a ton behind me. I just bought a ton of new ones. I'm just trying to see which ones will work, which ones I like, and I'm putting them aside. and then doing like a contest of eliminations of, you know, which ones are my go-tos. Unipin. This one it's not too bad. I use more of this and then the fine brush, but every time I see somebody doing some brush work, I'm like, I'm not the. It makes me want to grab it and, you know, start using it. All right, now I'm trying to be careful here. I figure if I do this, I probably have maybe not 30 days, 31 days of art, but I possibly have, um, you know, maybe a good 20, 25 days. I also spend time doing some extra sketches, so I might have the full 31 by the end of this month. Now that my daughter's on school break, it's back to late nights. Let's see, the Figma FB is very cool felt tip that's extra fine size wise, but doesn't last long. Okay, I'll have to keep that in mind. More likely, I'll probably start the stream before I even get to touching her face. Those eyes and her eyelashes, I want to get some lunch first. And come up with a good mindset. Tackle the fine details, but I also might save that for last. So if I do color this with alcohol markers, and I've been using the new Ohuhu markers. I just realized that's funny to say out loud. They're not bad. You have to get the color markers. You want the felt or the brush tip, and at least on the sketch cards I did, if you've seen my Instagram, I posted some Across the Spider-Verse images. And it could just be those cards. There's a little bleed that you don't get with Copics, but I didn't actually do Copics either on them. I didn't use any Copics. So I don't know if it's just the paper, but we'll see when I try it with this. So far, when I have used it on Strathmore or even Canon paper, there's not much of a bleed. It's pretty comparable to the Copic. And they're less expensive. That's the other reason why I'm going with them. You can get, I think I bought their colored 60 pack. And I spent $40 for that versus the $320 for their 60 Copics. And they finally have ink refills that are much cheaper. Like, I think $2 to $4 to refill. Thank you. Appreciate the advice. It's, you know, let's see. Maybe I might. Let's see. I'm trying to think where. Oh, this is her head. Be able to find stuff off camera. That's some great advice. I think I definitely want to go with a different thickness for the doll here. I don't want to ruin it, so if you haven't seen this anime, that doll's important. So I did that versus the other robot cube that they have. So maybe I might even use this twice. Let's see. We'll go over it twice. I want to make, because it's they're in outer space. She's floating. So what I'm going to do is color the background. When they activate, they have this thing called permeate, and at certain levels, with her permeate, it's a blue color, so it's in space, and the blue light lining around it. Maybe I'll grab a different pen when I can find my stuff. Oh, here we go. I really should set up a station over here. The one. This is a one. Let's see what size this is. This is finer. That's dry. That's a fine. So I picked up this little thing from the new, what was it, Dashi or whatever, the new pop-up market, the new market that just came about in Tempe here, or Mesa, Chandler, somewhere near me, and they're like a Five Below. I've got a lot of things, holders, electric racer for like under $2. Like an electric racer. Very nice one too. It's very powerful, and I don't have it with me up here. But you can also buy. I bought that for like, I think actually no, maybe that one was $5. But they also had the eraser replacements. Those came like 5 or 6 of them, plus something else, a tool, for $2. I think I walked out of there with art supplies ranging about $20. I couldn't believe it. And they were actually good quality stuff. Like half the Japanese fountain pens and other ones you see on Amazon going for 17 to $18. I found them there for $2, and I was elated because I basically Google translated it with my phone, and then did a reverse search with the lens. Found it on Amazon. It was like $20. I'm like, yeah, I'm buying it here. So if you come back up to Chandler, let me know. I can take you to that store. There's a lot of other things they sell as well. A lot of Japanese products are well worth it. My daughter is the one, my youngest, put me on to it. She wanted to go there. And I actually walked out with more stuff than she did. iPad is switching. Let's make it a little thicker. So I did a really cool flat. I can't say anything more about it. But when it is released, I will post a video of how I tackled it. I screwed that up. I'm improvise. There's a shirt, so it should be a little bit floating off in 0G. All right, there's Suletta. This last part. If I scan this in and color it digitally, like after I've finished coloring with marker, enhancing it, I was thinking about I could do something with those eyes. What happens to this character later, or that thing later. Yeah, do the mouth. All right, so there we go. You know, follow me on Instagram. It's Dutch_arts. Art. I think everything's in my bio or in the description below. So if you want to see the finished product, it's more likely to get posted on Instagram and on my Facebook page. But I'm thinking that is probably where I'm going to end this at. Give her mascara offline? Yeah. I'll probably even do her nails too, maybe. You know, that's a hi-fi thing, is that all the ladies in every hi-fi book have to have their fingernails colored. You won't ever see a character, not female character, without their nails being colored. So thanks everybody for joining for day one. I'm definitely going to fix this up post and catch me tomorrow. I don't know what time it's going to happen. Probably in the afternoon. I'm just going to randomly go through and, you know, hop to it if I don't have any work flying to do, and do the next one. It's going to be random. I'm not certain who it'll be, but it'll definitely be randomly picked by me. It'll be in the description, and you know, I'm hoping that as with my comic book, as with anything else I do, you see growth, changes. If there's any stagnation, you see I'm doing the same things over again, shout out, let me know. Thanks again. Hey, Shelby, catch you on the flip side. Thanks for joining, everybody. I'll talk to you guys later. And remember to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel.